As a young kid, I love basketball. From the age of 14, I played pretty heavily. It was a massive part of my life. I elevated through the ranks of basketball pretty quickly. I felt like I belonged, and I felt like this was truly my pathway. Everything was on track to become a professional basketballer. That wasn't until I suffered a massive injury that derailed my goals, and things started to go downhill a bit. Since basketball was a big part of my identity, I felt like I was lost. I didn't know where I was going after that. When I lost the belonging on the basketball court, I found it somewhere else. I found it within the negative peer circles in the street life, I'd say. You do petty things like steal from shops, but it escalates pretty quickly, and I went to stealing from people's homes, and that's what led me into some pretty big trouble. I was looking up to the wrong people, and unfortunately I didn't have a father figure in my life or anyone to guide me. So I spent 18 years old to 22 years old in prison. At the peak of all the issues surrounding my South Sudanese Australian community, I was very close to the problem, so therefore I felt I could be the solution. As soon as I made that switch, I ended up finding my purpose, my calling as becoming a youth mentor, to come back to the boys that were in my position at a young age and to help them find their way out earlier before they go down the same path that I did. I felt there was a lot of unseen talent, underground talent in my community. My brother was a big part of that talent, We thought, why not make a music label? At the first music project that we did, so many young boys and young men from my community rocked up, and we thought, we really have something here. We have something bigger than just a music label, We have a positive community initiative. That's where 1038 the collective comes from. We give the youth a platform to be a creative outlet for them. We've got 6 musical projects, and we've had quite a number of concerts and different people in different pathways that want to contribute. After founding 1038 the collective, I thought, what could I do more? Why not get myself into youth work, My brother sent me a link to an opportunity to be a lived experience mentor, and that was the start of my journey. At the company, it's 16 Yards. We work primarily in the justice system and with boys that are at risk of being in the justice system. We work with those boys week in and week out, working around identity and belonging, shifting their mindset, introducing to new things, broadening their perspectives, Just having a regular conversation is where you get the most impact and the most out of the youth. With some people, you just have one conversation and you can see that change straight away, And it makes me realize that a lot of people haven't had someone to guide them in the right direction, as I lacked myself, So I see a lot of potential in my mentees. Right now, I'm early in my journey, but I see the effect on the South Sudanese young men. I see them strive for better, strive to be as great as possible. Recently, I was invited back to my school to speak to the staff about my journey and speak about harmony and belonging. One of the young men did a presentation on me as one of his positive role models. Seeing that effect trickle down to the youngest of levels made me feel like I came back to that younger 17 or 18-year-old Moses, and I came back and I did him right, What makes me proud about living in Cardinia Shire is really the community sense, People come up to me in public and message me on social media that I've inspired them, inspired them to play their part, It's just a beautiful feeling. All these things that I've been doing, it's had a pretty profound effect on me. And it's had a pretty big impact on people in my community as well. People being able to give someone a second chance can change their lives like it's done for mine, and like I want to do for others.